Hello everybody, it's summer, the perfect time for self-guided learning. And if you're ambitious, you're probably very excited about summer. You're very excited to learn all these things you want to, but maybe you're not seeing the results that you want to see, like me. And it could be your approach. So let's take a look into that today. So today we're going to be talking about a very great topic and some things in learning. But first I just want to talk about my channel for a moment. I started taking this channel seriously this summer and I've made some videos so far, but I don't have a really strict schedule, but I hope to start that with this video. I hope to have a feature video every week, posted every Sunday. And then maybe some in-between videos if, I get like a feeling or whatever that I just gotta post something, I don't know. But that is the schedule. Look every Sunday and hopefully there'll be a great video for you. Okay, let's get into it. So today I'm sitting around thinking about, my future. And I want to study mathematics as my major. And I was thinking about, well, what if I did a physics minor? Because I am a person that has many interests. I would like to one day be able to do mechanical projects. Maybe I want to build a go-kart or something, I don't know. But I was like, that's fantastic. It'll make me scientifically literate. It will allow me to do my mechanical projects, which is the ultimate reason for doing it. And then it'll also, make my, career options a little bit wider maybe. So what do? I asked my friend, hey, what do you think? He says, that is a terrible idea. I was like, all right, dang, okay. So he says something that actually just changed my life and it could change yours. Are you ready? He said that it will give you the same skills, the physics minor and the math major. It'll give the same skills, but you'll forget the knowledge. And I was like, what? What? Because I told him, I want to do those mechanical projects way in the future. And so he's like, yeah, you're going to forget the knowledge by that. And I was like, oh my God, he's right. I'm definitely going to forget that stuff. Like 100% certain. And he was like, you have to learn as you go, right? So for this mechanical stuff that I want to do in the future, all I really have to do is think about what is the project I want to do. And then as I go, learn the necessary things to get there. And you'll see why this is way more magical than it sounds as I go through this video. Alright, so we have skills and we have knowledge. Now there's a difference, okay? It both starts with knowledge though. So we're going to say K is knowledge, okay? So K is knowledge. And then what you're going to do is, this is like a function. When you put application to this knowledge, what do you get? You get skill. That's fantastic, and I'll tell you why skill is fantastic. But first, let me tell you why knowledge is not that fantastic. Because what happens if you just have knowledge? You have nothing. No, I'm kidding. You don't have nothing, but it's harder to remember just raw knowledge without application. So that is the point that we are trying to discuss today. And I have lost my eraser. But application is fantastic for learning. It's like your bestest friend ever. And a lot of people don't realize this because this is not what school is about. So for self-guided learning, application is fantastic. I mean, it is absolutely wonderful. So that is what we're focusing on, not what school shows you. So why is skill like better than knowledge, kind of, right? So skills are like habits. You, when you pick them up, you don't really lose them, right? So, you know, if you learned algebra, let's say, that's a skill. You know, you learned algebra. In like 8 years, you'll still know how to find x. You know, it'll maybe take a minute to like readjust, but it's not like relearning the thing. Like you forgot it, it's gone. No, it's there. It just might take a little minute. Like, okay, if you learn how to ride a bike, that's a skill. Obviously, it's a very easy skill, but like if you go back to it in 30 years, which is a long time, you will still know how to ride your bike. You'll probably get right on that bike and do it because it's such an easy skill. But say a harder skill like algebra, yeah, it might take a moment, but it's there. It's like it's still there. It's very ingrained. The problem with knowledge is that it's gonna take more effort to remember it, which isn't necessarily terrible because like you know, you're gonna need knowledge, you're gonna need skills, right? But like some things you're gonna want to turn into skills, right? So knowledge, you know, is tricky because your brain is very efficient. It's gonna say like, I'm gonna remember these things and I'm gonna discard these things. Back to the board. Okay, so you're learning something, right? Let's say you have a book right here and you are gonna learn from this book. There's a whole lot of stuff in here. There's like a lot in that book. So you're gonna have a nice big arrow for your big book, right? And so you're putting everything in that book into your brain that hopefully does not look like that. But you're putting it all into your brain, right? And so your mind is gonna say, okay, well, there's some things that I want to keep, so it'll pass through here and it'll be nice and happy. It'll go into your long-term memory. And there's some things that'll kind of like put out into the trash can over here, right? So what goes here is N. N is necessary. So the brain here is going to take all the information that is necessary and it's going to keep it. It's going to take everything that's unnecessary and it's going to put it right in there, right in the trash. Technically, I don't think it's like gone forever. Like it can be retrieved, but it's not easy. Like it's kind of gone, you know. So necessary information is what you'll forget. I mean, what you'll remember. So what makes information necessary? Well, application is fantastic for making information necessary, right? Like as I said before, so your brain likes things that are necessary. And so to make something necessary, then there has to be a use for it. Your brain has to be using it, and you've got to have like some kind of purpose, because your brain is kind of like task oriented, so it's going to want to achieve that goal, right? So say you have my goal, like in 20 years you want to take your physics knowledge and you want to go do some mechanical stuff, right? In 20 years. That's a 2. Yeah, so 20 years, right? You want to go take your physics knowledge, do some mechanical stuff. That's what you're going to tell your brain? Really? 20 years? Your brain's like, man, I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 20 years. This is a stupid goal. I don't care. I'm going to forget in this frame of time. Forget about it. It's gone. It's absolutely gone, right? So what's going to happen is, this is never going to happen. Sorry. You're going to have to relearn it all over again in 20 years. Or what you can do is you can let that 20 years pass. Say like, okay, time to do mechanical stuff. Let me learn physics and the mechanical stuff at the same time, okay? at the same time. So this is your application. This is your knowledge, right? So your knowledge is hand in hand with your application. So you are definitely going to remember it now. You're going to learn it fantastically. Okay, it's gonna come together. You're gonna do your cool go-kart, and it's gonna be fantastic. And then, like, it'll last a lot longer. So you'll have like another 20 years with this, you know, and then you can do more mechanical stuff, right? So your brain loves application because it makes information necessary, and your brain remembers necessary things. Fantastic, right? And then so the more you work on your application, the more it becomes a skill. So, for example, and listen, that's not just me saying it. Look at this, Malcolm Knowles. All right, this dude was an adult educator. And he was actually in the book that I recently read about learning called The Only Skill That Matters. I really recommend you read that. It's fantastic. And so he says, in his research of teaching these adults for many, many, many years, he says, you have to have application. It's one of the most necessary things to properly learn. So it's not just me, it's Malcolm. Now, let's take another example. Bruce Lee. That guy is fantastic. So, you know, I recently watched a documentary on him, so let me give you a little information. Bruce Lee was challenged. Somebody challenged him. They lost, but it took him 3 minutes, so he was really upset about it. He was like, shoot, this took way too long. I need to get better. So he started studying martial arts. And he read thousands of books. Now, obviously, he didn't remember everything that was in those books. It's like impossible, right? He did not do that. And so he kind of acted as that filter in his brain, taking necessary things and leaving out unnecessary things, because all he wanted to do is advance his fighting. So he's going to read books on weightlifting and exercise and like other forms of fighting. For example, he read a book on fencing. Now, he probably did not read that whole book, because why would he do that? He's not fencing. But he took the technique of thrusting, like and he applied to his fighting, right? Whatever, I don't know what they do, but you get the point. So he took that and he applied it, and so his brain was like, shoot, this is something I'm going to remember, because he's actively using it in his fighting, right? So that is an example of application at work, and you're remembering, and your brain remembering it. Bruce Lee was a smart man. Now let's talk about me for a second. So this summer I start out and I'm like, dude, I'm so excited to learn. I created this fantastic plan. I mean, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. But it didn't work, so it sucked. And I came up with dates and timelines and exactly what I wanted to learn and like how to learn it. I made it so simple for myself. It was like perfect. And I was perfectly interested in all of it, right? So one example is I wanted to learn doing math in Python. And I started a course on doing math in Python, and it had these exercises where, you know, you'll learn one concept, then you go on to the next thing, you learn another concept, you do an exercise on it, or another concept, do an exercise on it. And so you're like, wow, fantastic application right there for you with the exercises. Halfway there, they were close. The problem is that everything was too separate. They didn't like combine it together to have this nice application that really worked. It wasn't a good application. A good application is something that you're interested in and something that puts a bunch of knowledge together, because that's the whole point. You want to use application as a tool to learn, right? So a better idea would be to do a project. Say, okay, let me choose something, doing math with Python. Say I want to make a derivative calculator, right? So there's a whole lot of stuff you got to learn to do that, buddy. Like a whole lot. All right, so you're gonna reverse engineer this process. So you're gonna look at the thing you want to do, the project, and you're gonna see like, how do I get there? And you're gonna learn the things as you go to get there. And maybe you don't know the exact steps, but either way, like, you can figure it out. Okay, that's not what this video is about. This video is about learning as you go. So you're gonna learn these things as you go to get there. And that will obviously more comprehensively help you learn, because you're learning all these different things and learning how they go together, their strengths, their weaknesses, their abilities, and, you know, combining everything. That's fantastic, rather than, oh, I learned this. I don't know what the point of it is, and your brain's going to be like, okay, if you find it pointless, I'm throwing it in the trash. So don't do that. Your brain is going to love learning a project, because it's going to be like, oh, look, this thing you just learned, that's to find our goal for our project, right? So it's going to want to learn it. So let's go back to this, right? I said if you learn something and then 20 years later you want to apply it, your brain's going to be like, I don't understand. That's way too far. But if you say, I have this project that I want to complete, and you are like, this is the end, right? And this is the start. And you're like right here, and you learn something. Let's say something is like, this is something, right? So if you're right here, and your goal is here, it's gonna be like, wow, look, you have the goal. Like I see your vision, I know what you're doing. So it's gonna say, I want to remember this. And then you're gonna apply that here, and it's a part of your project. It's a part of the whole, so it's necessary information. Your brain most definitely has to remember it if you want to achieve this, right? Because it's not like a vague thing like, oh, I want to learn this later on. So projects create necessary information. It's more comprehensive learning. It's putting it all together. So, and it's interesting. It's something you want to do, right? The project is the application you want to do it. You're excited to do it. You got to choose a project you want to do. But then you might sit here and ask me, hey buddy, hey pal, I don't really care about doing anything with this knowledge. Maybe you're like me. You wanted to learn physics to be scientifically literate. You know, maybe you're like, that's it. Okay, great. You don't have to go apply that. But to learn it, you want to use application as a tool, right? So in the initial process of learning the physics to make you scientifically literate, use application as a tool. So let's say you, for some reason, want to be like really good at, I don't know, understanding like how projectiles move, and like you just want to like walk around the street and you see like someone kicking a ball, you're like, oh, I know how that works, I get it, right? So let's say you want to be like that. You want to do like some projects. I don't know why I went to write something, but you want to do some projects on projectile motion. Like it'll really help you learn. It'll be like, look, I have this. Your brain is gonna be like, I have this project on it, on what was it called? Projectile motion that I want to learn, and your brain's gonna be like, that's great. That's necessary information. I'm gonna keep that so you can complete your project. And then so once you've learned it, right? Once your brain is like, this is great, we learned it. You graduated. You know projectile motion now. You know it like fantastically. Like you can walk down the street, you'll be like, bro, I know where that ball is gonna go when you kick it. Right? You've learned it. Congratulations. Now you don't have to do anything with it anymore. You know it now. You don't have to continue application. I mean, you might want to review your knowledge, but like you just used application to learn it. That's it. You know, so if you're just curious and you don't care about application to do something with the knowledge you get, that's fine. But you can really use application as a great tool to initially learn things. Now, we're on to our last topic. So, celebrate. I know this is a long video. So, something else that is fantastic with projects is that it fits 3 requirements that you can find in the Only Skill That Matters book. Now there's a lot more requirements to like perfect learning or whatever, but these ones I like because they're like they really go well with projects. So what we have is 1, you're involved with learning. Okay? 2, you have a reason to learn. And 3, you are problem solving. So, let's start with number 1. Involved with your learning process. This is a fantastic thing. So, being involved with your learning process, really, it just really helps. Because, number 1, it lets you like enjoy what you're learning. You're like, okay, I'm trying to learn, I don't know, my Python project thing, right? So you're like, this is something I want to learn, so you're going to be excited about it. You set what you wanted to learn. Then as you go, you are designing your own roadmap to learning. And so you're going to be like, you're going to understand it way better because not only are you doing it, but you're also designing how you're going to do it. So you're going to have much more comprehensive learning, by the way. And it keeps you invested in it. So it'll really keep you motivated. It'll keep you on track to actually do what you're trying to do. Because like there's a bunch of super ambitious people that want to do stuff and they don't end up doing it. Me. And so this is fantastic. That'll really help solve that problem because it's like it's yours now. You own it. You gotta do it. You're excited to do it. And you'll have much more comprehensive learning. 2, projects help with a reason to learn. It kind of goes with this. It's like this is a project that I want to do. It's like fulfilling, you know, the application is the reason to learn. And 3, problem solving. While you do this, you know, you're learning as you go. So you're gonna have a lot of problems along the way. So good luck with that. But your brain loves problem solving. We're problem solving machines. We love doing that. So your brain is gonna 1, like solving problems, and number 2, you're gaining necessary information to solve a problem. So your brain is gonna say, hey, I need this. I need to solve this problem and I need this information to do it. So your brain is gonna remember it to solve the problem. So, learning is not that hard to figure out. You just, like, if you want to really learn, you got to put in a little effort on how to learn. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And so, if you listen up, if you listened up to this, self-guided learning is about to get a lot easier. I'm telling you, brother. So, recap the video. Let me write this down on the board. Recap. Skills are forever. I don't know if I spelled permanent right, but that's what it says. Skills are forever. Knowledge is harder to remember. You like that? It rhymes. Skills forever, harder, knowledge harder to remember. Something else that we talked about. Learning as you go. So, do projects and apply your knowledge. and it'll really help you learn. And you know, learning as you go. As you can see, if you really think about this video, there's a lot of benefits to learning as you go. Last part, we have our little 3 tips. So we have involvement in your learning process, and then you have reason to learn, and then we have problem solving. And that is our little recap. So, fix yourself, get right, learn well. I really hope this works out for you. And I'm sorry I'm erasing this preemptively, but I have an addiction to erasing. It's really fun. So yeah, definitely check this out, man. Like, or woman. I'm so sorry. That was insulting. Check this out. You will do great. I believe in you. And this can really work out for you. It's working out. It's working out. So, have a great, fantastic, lovely day, lovely week. I'll probably see you within the week before our next feature video on next Sunday, because I got a lot of ideas brewing right now. But I'll leave you off with this. If you like fusion music, listen to Billy Cobham and Brand X. That's your tip. Goodbye. Also, let me know if you like this new style of video, because I'm trying here. Like, we're gonna establish a great channel here. Thank you for your support. And also, I'm going to be doing better researched videos, so look out for that. This is gonna be great. I'm telling you, there's a change coming. And remember, Billy Cobham and Brand X. Listen to it. Do it.